Thermodynamics. Chapter number 119. Thermodynamics. Thermodynamics, the branch of the physics which deals with the cause of the heat flow, and the cause of the heat flow is known as thermodynamics. What is thermodynamics? The branch of the physics which deals with the cause of heat flow. This definition come out in a very broad sense. I will elaborate it as the course will proceed. You should not worry about it. Let us first recall a very important concept which I already discussed with you. What is this? This is the thermal equilibrium. What is a thermal equilibrium? When I am dealing mechanics, I told you what is mechanical equilibrium. On the same line of discussion, you heard in chemistry what is the chemical equilibrium. Here, when we are dealing with the thermodynamics, we have to understand what is a thermal equilibrium. What is a thermal equilibrium? Thermal equilibrium. What is thermal equilibrium? When two bodies, says A and B, of any arbitrary shape, of any arbitrary size, arbitrary shape and size, at two different temperatures, at two different temperatures. Let us say theta 1 and theta 2. Suppose that there are two different temperatures, theta 1 and theta 2, and there are two bodies A and B. When two bodies A and B of any arbitrary shape and size at two different temperatures, let theta 1 and theta 2 come in contact. Or let us assume one thing more. Let theta 1 and theta 2, where theta 1 is greater than theta 2. Quite natural that something is hot and something is little bit colder than it. For example, hot coffee and the hot environment. But you know that hot coffee is more hotter than the environment. Okay. So let theta 1 and theta 2 are the two different temperatures where theta 1 is greater than theta 2 kept in contact. Kept in contact. Hey guys, let me explain this by a figure. Suppose that this is the scenario. This is the scenario. A at theta 1 and B at theta 2. I am not going to take any conventional method of discussion as previously I have done in heat conduction. Suppose that these two bodies are kept in contact for some time. I mean to say that theta 1 and theta 2, A and B are kept in contact. What will happen? What will happen? The flow of heat will take place. The flow of heat will take place until both reach at common temperature, and after that there will be the flow of heat will be stopped, prevented, checked, because there is no temperature difference. because there is no difference of temperature. So flow of heat will be take place like this manner until both reach the common temperature. Until both reach the common temperature. Heat will flow until both reach at common temperature. Now note it down all the things whatever I mentioned in the whiteboard. Pause the video and note it down. Now I am going to erase these things because I have to take into account for the further explanation. That's why. Okay. So heat will flow until both reach at common temperature. Then now what will be happen? When both the reach at common temperature, there will be no heat take place. And this situation, body is said to be in thermal equilibrium. When transfer of heat flow stop, when transfer of heat stop, then both the bodies are said to be in thermal equilibrium. Thermal equilibrium with each other. With each other. On this side of discussion, let me focus the camera. Whatever I told you, I have written there. Transfer of heat take place when both the bodies are said to be in thermal equilibrium. Now the temperature of both the bodies are equal. Obvious सी बात है. तो ये आप you have to note it down. Now I will take great care when I am going to write something here. I have to write down this line due to the least focusing of camera. Okay. So now it is the elaboration of thermal equilibrium. Guys, here I have to explain first the zeroth law of thermodynamics equilibrium. Why it is called zeroth law of thermodynamics equilibrium? Why it is not called first law? Why it is not called second law or third law? See, when thermodynamics is in advanced stage, the first law is invented. First law postulated firstly and second law, and this law is hypothetically told by after these two laws. That's why it is known as zeroth law of thermodynamic equilibrium. The bigger the name, but it's easy to understand. What is the zeroth law of thermodynamic equilibrium? Zeroth law of thermodynamic equilibrium. Thermodynamic equilibrium. Zeroth law of thermodynamic equilibrium. Consider two bodies. Consider two bodies. A and B, which are in equilibrium. Which are in equilibrium, and B and C. Consider three bodies there. Consider three bodies A, B and C. I said, consider three bodies. Let A and B are in thermal equilibrium. B are in thermal equilibrium. A and B as previously discussed, there will be no transfer of heat take place between A and B because both are in thermal equilibrium. So, and what is the conclusion of thermal equilibrium? These two are in same temperature, obviously. If there is a difference of the temperature, then heat will be taken flow. So this is thermal equilibrium. What is the double arrow represented? That if any type of heat is transferred from A to B, then there will be a reversible process take place, and at every instant the temperature of A and B will remain constant. So body will remain in thermal equilibrium. Okay. So this is theta, and this is also theta. Now consider a strange thing. Let these two bodies are in thermal equilibrium. Thermal equilibrium. Okay. Again, let B and C are in thermal equilibrium. B and C are in thermal equilibrium. Then what will happen? You know that B and C B and C. So quite natural. The temperature of B and C will also be equal. And from these two figures, you can easily state that a thing. What? A is in equilibrium with B. B is in equilibrium with B, C. So A and C will not be in equilibrium. Shall be that. A and C will not be in equilibrium. No, they will be in equilibrium. Why? Because after observing the two figures, we found that the temperature of A and C are so equal. So this is the condition of thermal equilibrium. If there is a thermal equilibrium, then A and C have the same temperature. That is the Zeroth law. If three bodies in which two bodies are in separately equilibrium and two other bodies are in separately equilibrium, so whenever and wherever the first body and the last body will meet, they will be also in thermal equilibrium. So from two figures, we conclude that A and C are also in thermal equilibrium. A and C are also in thermal equilibrium. यही ज़ीरात का थर्ड लॉ है, सॉरी ज़ीरात लॉ. अगर हम इनको कुछ शब्दों में कहना चाहें, if I want to tell this in a very simpler statement, we can write here. Come on, look at the board. This is the important factor. You need not to remember all these things. Just remember what I am going to write in the box. If A and B are in thermal equilibrium separately, and B and C are in thermal equilibrium separately, A and B are in thermal equilibrium separately, and B and C are in thermal equilibrium separately, then whenever and wherever A and C will be meet, A and C will be meet, they will be in thermal equilibrium. A and C will be in thermal equilibrium. So what is the significance of zeroth law of thermodynamics? See, before the International Science Convention held in 1971 in Switzerland, Zurich, temperature is assumed to be the fundamental physical quantity of the natural philosophy, that is physics. Before that, only 3 physical quantities are considered to be the fundamental physical quantity. So, for the temperature, there are a lot of misconceptions. This law clearly mentions that temperature is the physical state of the conductor that decide what is the direction of flow of heat. Or if naturally heat is allowed to flow, then it will prefer the path from high temperature to low temperature. So what are the cause of the heat of the flow? What is the cause of heat flow? The cause of heat flow is the difference of temperature. If there is no difference of temperature, then there will be no flow of heat and the bodies are said to be in thermal equilibrium. I think you got the point. Okay, this is the zeroth law of thermodynamic equilibrium. Now let me explain some other important and technical terms which you have to encounter in thermodynamics, study of thermodynamics. You know that you have to pause the video and note down whatever I mentioned in the board for your preparation. Either it is for NEET or for JEE Main or for your board exam, whatever you are going to handle with. It is your responsibility. Guys, equivalence of work and heat. In the previous lectures, I already defined what is heat, and I discussed with you in some videos work, power, energy, equivalence of work and heat. Here our topic of concern is what? Equivalence of work and heat. Equivalence of work and heat. We can raise the temperature of a body in 2 different ways. We can raise the temperature of the body in 2 different ways. Keep the body directly on the gas stove, like a chai ki patili, fry pan. Then what will be happen? After some time you will find that chai will be ubbling. चाय उबल जाएगी. क्यों उबली भाई? क्योंकि उसको हीट मिली और वो भी डायरेक्ट हीट मिली. अच्छा था. तो क्या चाय बनाने का कोई और तरीका नहीं? बिना गर्म किए चाय नहीं बन सकती. अगर हम उसको बहुत तेज रगड़े, देखिए अभी यहाँ पे मैं टेम्परेचर नहीं दे रहा हूँ, Mark my word, I am not going to increase the temperature. I am just producing the forces which is against the sliding of the patili. So friction. When the word friction is come, other term is introduced, that is work. So we can raise the temperature of the body in two different ways. We can raise the temperature of the body in two different ways. And what are the different ways? Of course, by directly heating the body, by directly heating the body, or by doing the mechanical work. So now you got another important point. How you can, the way in which we can raise the temperature of the body, the ways in which we can increase the temperature of the body. We can raise the temperature of the body in two different ways. Number one, by directly heating the body. Number two, by doing mechanical work. By doing mechanical work. By doing mechanical work. By doing मैकेनिकल वर्क, या तो मैकेनिकल वर्क से हीट टेम्परेचर इंक्रीज होगा, और या तो फिर किससे टेम्परेचर इंक्रीज होगा, या तो मैकेनिकल वर्क से, और या तो फिर टेम्परेचर इंक्रीज होगा बॉडी को हीट देने से। अब मिसाल के तौर पर मान लीजिए कि आपको एक ठंडी बॉडी दिखाई गई, कोई भी ऑब्जेक्ट, you are gifted by a cold object. It is taken from you, hidden in a curtain, and after some time it is another, it is given you again. अब आपको वो दोबारा दी गई, it is given to you again. Then what you observe, and you observe that temperature is increased. Can you tell me that behind the curtain what is actually happened? We have the two ways to increase the temperature. So exactly you can say that what is going on behind the curtain, that's why the temperature is increased. No, my dear friend, you cannot tell exactly. You can observe it, the temperature increased, but in what way? You cannot, until otherwise it is informed to you कि हमने टेम्परेचर बढ़ाने के लिए कौन से प्रोसीजर को यूज किया है, डायरेक्टली उसे हीट दी है, या उसके ऊपर हमने कुछ मैकेनिकल वर्क किया है। अगर ऐसा ही कुछ हम ना बताएं तो फिर कोई भी प्रोसेस, कोई भी तरीका अपना लीजिए, आप ये नहीं पता कर सकते कि उसमें कोई हीट देने, क्या सा स्पेसिफिक मेथड था हीट देने के लिए, What is the specific method to transfer the heat? तो इसका मतलब क्या हुआ कि भैया टेम्परेचर बढ़ाने के लिए हमें एनर्जी को तो खर्च करना है। अब एनर्जी हीट भी है और वर्क भी है। आए आप तो जानते हो कैसे वर्क एनर्जी हो गया, वर्क अलग चीज पड़ी थी, एनर्जी अलग पड़ी थी ना मेरे लाल, वर्क ही एनर्जी है और एनर्जी ही वर्क है, इसमें कोई डाउट नहीं है। पूछो कैसे? अरे नादानो इस बात को पहचानो। क्या भाई? एनर्जी जैसे तुमने काइनेटिक अगर कही तो दौड़ोगे तो ही तो काइनेटिक एनर्जी हो। तो दौड़ने के बाद तुम क्या कहते हो? थक गए। काम किए हो तबे ना थके हो, सोते सोते थोड़े थक जाता है। You will restless, you will run, then you will achieve kinetic energy. It is on the what account? किसके भी आप पर? You have done the work. इसका मतलब work done equivalent to energy है। तो जब वर्क डन इक्विवेलेंट टू एनर्जी है और हीट भी एनर्जी का फॉर्म है, इसका मतलब हीट एनर्जी और वर्क में कोई ना कोई रिलेशन तो होगा ही। ये रिश्ता क्या कहलाता है? ये रिश्ता क्या कहलाता है? इस पर डॉक्टर जूल परफॉर्म अ सेवरल नंबर ऑफ एक्सपेरिमेंट्स ग्रेटर देन 900, something around 1000 experiments they performed, and after that they concluded heat can be converted into useful work. Sorry, work can be converted into heat. See, in my point of view, heat and work are the two different forms of energy. Heat is the unsystematized form of energy, while work is the systematized form of energy. That's so simple as that. You can explain. So, according to Dr. Joule, the work done on an object is directly proportional to heat. According to Dr. Joule, the work done, I am going to cut it short. According to Dr. Joule, according to Dr. Joule's experiment, if we performed, we done, और perform से अच्छा वर्ड पड़ेगा यहाँ पे done, we done W amount of work, W amount of work and Q amount of heat, Q amount of heat is generated या lost. It is not necessary that in each and every case the reaction will be exothermic, that is heat evolved. It is not mandatory. So heat is generated or absorbed. Then W is directly proportional to Q. जितना ज्यादा काम करोगे उतनी ज्यादा हीट डेवलप्ड होगी, जितना ज्यादा काम करोगे उतना ज्यादा हीट डेवलप होगी। आई बात समझ में? बिल्कुल समझ में आई होगी। तो अब इस प्रोपोर्शनैलिटी को रिमूव करो। नाउ रिमूव द प्रोपोर्शनैलिटी, नाउ रिमूव द प्रोपोर्शनैलिटी बाय अ कांस्टेंट व्हिच इज नोन एज mechanical equivalent of heat. Let me complete the statement. If we remove this proportionality sign, then W is equal to J into Q. On the next green board, I will explain what is J. Write down J is the mechanical equivalent of heat. J is mechanical equivalent of heat. J is mechanical equivalent of heat. You got my point, my dear friend? Now, what is J? J is mechanical equivalent of heat. Guys, note it down, then we will proceed further. Note it down. J, Joule's constant. Joule's constant. This is known as Joule's constant. What is the value of Joule's constant? This is 4.18. 4.18 Joule per calorie. Joule per calorie. This is Joule's constant. Joule per calorie. 4.18 Joule per calorie. अब यहां पर एक रिमार्केबल पॉइंट है, J is not a physical quantity. J is not a physical quantity. J is not a physical quantity. It is a conversion factor. तो अगर कभी किसी ऑब्जेक्टिव में you will find that कि J है और कहे पिक आउट द फिजिकल क्वांटिटी, तो भैया ये फिजिकल क्वांटिटी नहीं है। देखो कितनी सुंदर बात है। अरे भाई हमने डायमेंशनलेस फिजिकल क्वांटिटी पढ़ी, हमने डायमेंशनल कांस्टेंट पढ़े, हमने डायमेंशनल वेरिएबल्स पढ़े, हमने डायमेंशनलेस वेरिएबल्स पढ़े। ये क्या है? ये एक प्योर नंबर है। जैसे रेनॉल्ड नंबर इज नॉट अ फिजिकल क्वांटिटी, इट इज merely a number. It is merely a number. The factor which decide the laminar or turbulent flow, if you go through that videos of the hydrodynamics, then you must remember these factors what I already told you. So J is not a physical quantity, it is a conversion factor. I am going to stop this video here right now. In the next video we will discuss the three basic terms involved in first law of thermodynamics, named as heat, work and internal energy. Please watch the video carefully and try to understand and note it down all the points for the sake of your objective preparation. Thank you very much.